Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. It's 2024 and there are still so many skincare myths that not only are still existing but have come, gone, then come back again. I mentioned before I've been spending a lot more time on TikTok at the moment on my business account, my James Welsh account, and some of the skincare myths that people are putting out there as facts is honestly kind of worrying. Like I thought we were over that now. So today I want to share some criminal mistakes some people may be making in their routine, myths that we may still be believing, and these aren't going to be your common ones. Number one, you shouldn't stick to one brand in your skincare routine. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, what are they talking about? I think this may not be it. I think this idea stems from people saying you don't have to use a single brand's products in your routine. And really, unless you need to constantly review products because it's your job, you really don't need to be switching up brands that much. And there are some benefits to sticking to a single brand's products, mainly being that you have a consistent skincare routine, you're not chopping and changing out products, which I think is a huge issue. Now we've got this kind of like mass consumerism take on skincare, and you give all these products a chance to do what they need to do. Welcoming the sponsor of this segment of the video, Dermatica. Dermatica are a perfect example of this. They recently, not too recently, but newly launched their skincare range. They're mainly known for making personalized formulas, but have this whole range of skincare for you to try. And when I say whole range, it's not like crazy amount of products. You have 2 cleansers, great for a double cleanse, 2 serums, a hyaluronic acid serum, plus vitamin B5, a new 15% vitamin C ascorbic acid serum, a soothing centella gel moisturizer, a nourishing ceramide plus peptide moisturizer, a restoring ceramide skin balm, and SPF 50 photo damage defense sunscreen. So you really do have everything you need in a basic routine. Everything from your cleansing to your slugging, all with evidence-based ingredients, which I absolutely love. None of this no nasties clean skincare stuff. And if you do use Dermatica's personalized formulas, you could easily slot those into this routine. This is great as well if you're looking to revamp your skincare, which I kind of am this year, to be honest with you. I want to go back to the basics, your cleansers, your hydrate, your treatment stage, moisturizer, protection. So if, unlike me, you don't review products for a living and you want a skincare routine that is simple yet effective and does the job it needs to do, definitely take a look at this whole Dermatica line. Personal favorites is of course the Soothing Centella Gel Moisturizer. This has a really lovely cooling sensation that isn't just minty. I know I say that a lot, I hate like mint on my face, but often gel moisturizers are kind of used for those with more irritated skin, rosacea prone skin, oily skin, because we don't like the heavier kind of moisturizers in general. It's a great daytime moisturizer, so that cooling sensation really helps with things like flare-ups and irritation. Of course, the Centella helps with that as well. We have niacinamide in here as well for a smoother, more even looking complexion. It's also been shown to help with sebum control and pore size as well, potentially. And a ceramide blend to help with barrier function. This may surprise you. I've mentioned this before in a few videos. My favorite product out of the whole line, and this may not be too surprising because the hydration stage is my favorite stage in the whole routine, is the Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Plus Vitamin B5 Serum. I feel like a lot of hyaluronic acid serums nowadays are gloopy and some of them foam up and they're kind of just gross on the skin. This is like almost like a gel cream texture, but this is a nice thick serum that you instantly feel like hydrating on the skin. Obviously it doesn't work like that, but you feel like this almost instant release of tightness. Obviously we have hyaluronic acid in here to help hydrate, and niacinamide and panthenol as well, helping to lock in all that hydration. So definitely check out this Dermatica range. You can use the code JamesW for 25% off the whole range. Also, if you're looking to get a personalized formula from Dermatica, whether you have rosacea, prone to breakouts, whatever your skincare concern may be, you can get 20% off. Using code JamesW20, you can get your first personalized formula for only £2.90. That's a bargain. And then 20% off your second month. All links and information will be in the description box down below. So yeah, I find that kind of weird. I don't know how the myth has gone from you don't need to use a single brand's products to you shouldn't use a single brand's product. If anything, it might be more beneficial to you, to be honest. Especially if you're confused about skincare and you don't really know what to use and when, in what order. This is one that keeps repeating itself and it bothers me so much, but I do get it. And that is that cleansers don't really do anything for your skin other than wash your face and then you just wash them down the drain. This is one I keep seeing repeated and repeated and repeated, when cleansers are actually really important and they can make a real difference in your routine. Saying that active ingredients ingredients in cleansers do nothing for your skin is like saying the active ingredients in shampoo do nothing for your hair because you wash them away. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make sense. Cleansers with actives in can be a great way to introduce actives into your routine in the first place. You know, they're often extremely gentle, so you can use them every day without other actives in your routine. Or when your skin's going through some shit and you're recovering, you could introduce actives into your cleansers if you want some very gentle exfoliation, calming, soothing ingredients, skin barrier repairing ingredients, all beneficial in cleansers. There is a but. You do have to take your time with these cleansers, which I find kind of annoying, to be honest with you. And the whole 60-second rule of cleansing is kind of bullshit as well. What you want to focus on when you're cleansing is just making sure you get it everywhere. Make sure you don't miss an area. And to be honest, that's maybe why 60 seconds is a good roundabout time, just to make sure you are getting all the areas. It's not because it takes 60 seconds to work or for your skin to really benefit from it. It's just to make sure you're covering all the areas. So when you do have actives, you want to take your time, let all those actives take place, whatever they do on your skin, and then rinse away. Most cleansers nowadays have a gentle foam to them and they shouldn't be stripping your skin. So feel free to leave it on your face for like an extra 30 seconds and then rinse away. This does not mean that those cleansers should be extortionately priced. I have seen some cleansers that are like, we have like caviar and shit, and it's like, I don't really care about that. Do you know what I mean? I am not paying that much for a cleanser. I never will pay that much for a cleanser. For a serum, but purely because the ingredients in that will be a lot more potent. But a cleansing stage isn't a waste of your time. It's not a quickly get it done, rinse down the sink, then move on. Depending on your skin condition, your skin type, what your skincare goals are, an affordable salicylic acid cleanser, for example, can be really, really beneficial. Pore clogging ingredients, comedogenic rating scale. It's very 2008 Pinterest. It's very early YouTube days. You know, don't use mineral oil. You're gonna clog your pores. It doesn't. It doesn't. So let's talk about the comedogenic rating and pore clogging ingredients. Acne safe ingredients also seem to be kind of like lumped in with the same thing with those terms. The comedogenic rating comes from, I want to say like the late 70s, maybe early 80s, around about that time. Doesn't matter. There was a study where they put ingredients they believe to be pore clogging, acne producing ingredients onto a rabbit's ear. Then when like little pustules formed or it broke out or whatever in the ear, they were like, right, that's a comedogenic product. That is a product that will make humans break out. I don't know why they fucking thought that. And they kind of came up with this comedogenic grade, 0 to 5, negative to severe, based on a few things. So 0 negative was normal appearance in the rabbit's ear. 3 was kind of moderate, where they saw like a significant difference in the amount of keratin. And 5 severe, where they were like, oh my God, this rabbit has acne in its ear. Which is ridiculous because we're not rabbits. Humans aren't rabbits, humans aren't rats. I would say the vast majority of studies that have led to things like dirty, unclean ingredients, cancer-causing ingredients have all been tested on animals, unfortunately, in ways that don't reflect the way ingredients are used in real life or in our cosmetics. So later they updated this study by testing these comedogenic ingredients on a human. However, it was on a human's back. Again, back, very different to the skin on our face. Not only that, but they also covered these comedogenic ingredients in an inclusive layer. They kind of found a lot of differences. So things that broke out the rabbit, unsurprisingly, didn't break out the human or vice versa. Again, not massively reliable. And the kind of people that really rely on these comedogenic ratings are apps like the EWG, Think Dirty. You know, when you kind of look at an ingredient list and dissect it and pick out single ingredients, it's like comedogenic, comedogenic, comedogenic. But also what this doesn't take into consideration is how that comedogenic ingredient is formulated in skincare. In these tests, they didn't put skincare products on the subjects, they put single ingredients. So it's the typical example of alcohol, for example, denatured alcohol. You're gonna see it in moisturizers. However, denatured alcohol on its own is extremely drying, it evaporates like that, but that's not how your moisturizer is gonna work. It's in there for a different reason. It's formulated into a product. So while squalane, for example, is on the comedogenic list, that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna clog your pores or it's comedogenic or it's gonna make acne worse, because you've got to think how it's formulated as a whole. Long story short, the only way to find out something's gonna break you out is to use it and try it. There isn't a one size fits all. Thick products don't equal acne triggering, pore clogging products either. So you will find this list of like comedogenic ingredients to avoid. You'll see people online saying you shouldn't use this because it clogs your pores. There's no real way to know, to be honest with you. Really, the only way you're going to find out if something's going to clog your pores or if it's going to break you out is just to try it. The tests on the back were also only tested on 10 people, which is a really, really small sample size of people. So a lot of ingredients have been given a really bad name from this kind of shit test. That's not to say it's not useful in some way if you do find in general that products break you out. Comedogenic rating might be a good kind of indicator, a very rough guide, but it's not accurate. Don't miss out on products just because you see it's like number 5 in the comedogenic rating, because all in all it doesn't really mean anything. Micellar waters need to be rinsed off. This is a difficult one because there are some shit micellar waters. There are some really bad micellar waters. But it all depends, and I believe it's Michelle from Lab Muffin who has a really good video about micellar water. And she basically explains in that video that micellar waters are all made differently. They're all made differently. Micellar waters are made with surfactants that are meant to be gentle enough to leave on your skin. They're not the same surfactants that you see in other cleansers. It's not just soapy water as a lot of people like to spout. Like, you don't get a soap, water it down, then call it micellar water, do you? It really just depends on your skin. There is no yes or no answer for this, but I've seen a lot of people on TikTok saying this as a cold hard fact that micellar waters are supposed to be rinsed off, which is really annoying because micellar water is supposed to be there for convenience. A lot of people, especially who can't physically get to a sink, a lot of people who like to come home after a night out and just have a quick rinse with micellar water. It's a great thing to take away with you camping. I think I've been camping once. You know, it was made for convenience and it can be really convenient. It just so happens that some are crap. Garnier, for example, my brother loves Garnier. He can leave it on his skin, no problem whatsoever. My skin goes crazy. It gets red, inflamed, and itchy if I even leave this on my skin for 2 seconds. Do I now rinse off every micellar water? No, obviously not. There's no point. If you're gonna rinse off micellar water, you may as well just use a normal cleanser. Bioderma, an amazing micellar water actually made to leave on the skin. With those in mind who live in areas where their water isn't as clean, you can leave this on your skin. I leave this on my skin, no issue. It might not work for some people. It may work for some people. At the end of the day, look at the instructions. If it tells you to leave it on, leave it on. If it tells you to rinse it off, rinse it off. If it makes you break out, stop using it, try another one. But no, don't go rinsing off your micellar water. If you're doing that, just wash your face. I just find it bizarre that people are telling people to rinse off micellar water when that's the whole point of micellar water, is not to involve water in any way. So there we have it. They are some things that I've noticed are kind of annoying, and these myths that are still floating around. And I feel like I'm speaking to the wrong audience here because most of us aren't on TikTok from what I gather, but it's infuriating to go back on there and kind of see how the skincare content is 4 to 5 years behind what we've learned here on YouTube. I feel like we've all learned a lot from the influencers, but mainly the professionals that came online around, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, and taught us so much. And I think they get drowned out a fair bit over on TikTok because of the pace of TikTok and the way people consume content over there and information as well. So if you are on TikTok, interact with those professionals, the people giving all the good information, lead skinfluencers and self-proclaimed experts in the right direction, and hopefully a lot of this misinformation will disappear. Thank you Dermatica again for sponsoring a segment of today's video. Don't forget to use these codes for all the amazing discounts, which I'll put all in the description box down below. Check out some more videos here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.